Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to SuttyTrades. First off, I just want to say Merry Christmas to you guys. Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you had a fantastic day, ate too much, got spoiled rotten, and most importantly, spend time with your loved ones. Um, if you could, I know, with everything going on in the world, COVID is kind of throwing a bit of a curveball again, which sucks. But I think after what is it, almost 3 years now, we kind of, we kind of just deal with it, right? We do what we got to do. But I just hope you guys got to at least, see some of your family and friends. So I'm just going to turn that off. It's alerts for trading. Those sounds sometimes are like, ugh, stop loss, ooh, take profit, ooh. But anyway, so I have not really traded in the last few days. Obviously, with it being Christmas, I did say I was going to do another trial. I actually signed up and I got the credentials and I started trading. I took a couple of losses, took a small win, and then I just decided, you know what, there's no point. I'm not going to count this trial because it's just stupid taking this. I don't think it's a very good reflection of my strategy. It's, because the market is, there's no momentum in the market at the moment. And if I'm running off order block, the order block strategy, order blocks, you kind of need all the movements, you need everything to be happening. So I'm kind of just going to wait until beginning of next year, and then I will start the trial again. So the trial I'm on now, I'm just going to let it run. It'll probably go over 14 days, and then it'll just cancel or count as a loss. But I'm not counting this trial because it was silly to sign up in the first place. So I will start beginning of the year. I'm going to do one more trial, which I am hopefully going to go for the win or the free retake. If I get a win or a free retake, I will then go on to my live challenge, which I will discuss with you guys further in the next video, in a video coming up very soon, which is basically my whole strategy for the next 2 years. And it's also going to be a video which is basically how to go from $80 to $1 million in 2 years, which sounds crazy. And every time I say that, it's almost like, in fact, I said that to my wife. I said to her, I've got to do a video soon. I've got to do my next kind of video, which is actually going to be how to go from $80 to $1 million in 2 years. And she literally just laughed. She burst out laughing. I was being dead serious. I was like, this is my video. I'm going to, go and kind of tell people how to go from $80 to $1 million in 2 years. I was dead serious, And she just literally looked at me and burst out laughing. So it's like, thanks, honey. So I think I've been trading for 3 years and I've still not made $1 million. So I can see why she laughed, but I think, over those 3 years, I've kind of now got to a point where I have a strategy. I have my mental, kind of where I am in terms of my psychology around trading is so much different to what it was before, So, and in saying that, my wife, she has been so supportive, throughout everything. The fact that she even listens to anything, I think most of the time she turns off, she switches off. But the fact that she is still kind of even entertaining my trading ideas, that the whole kind of idea that I want to trade full time for a living. The fact that she even entertains that, she's very supportive, and I'm grateful for that. So, honey, if you're watching this, which you probably won't, thank you. But anyway, moving on. I am going to do a video soon, which is basically a two-part. It's like a double part or a double. The video is basically going to be saying how to take $80 and turn it into $1 million over 2 years. But it's also going to be me telling you that this is how I'm doing it. It is actually going to be my 2-year plan. It's exactly what I'm doing for the next 2 years. And who knows? It might be a massive failure, and then I will laugh with my wife. I'll watch the video back in 2 years' time, and either I will laugh at her for laughing at me, or I will laugh with her at me. Either way, you guys are gonna see it. So I think let's just go with it. So make sure you guys check out the next video, or the video that is coming soon, which I'm working on. But anyway, I have done a few small little tweaks to my strategy. So this is the kind of small little tweaks that I will be taking into the next trial. It's still my strategy. It's still all the running off a 4-hour OB, looking for imbalances and waiting for price to hit those imbalances. But there's some small things that I've changed, and I just want to take you guys over to TradingView quickly so I can show you what I'm talking about, okay? So there's actually a live trade that I've just started now, but yeah, so this is the current one, right? So basically we just got an alert on this one. It's still, so one of the first things I've changed, right? How I mark up an OB. Okay, this is not a very good example, but let's say this, how I would have normally marked up an OB. So let's say we're looking at this one right here. That would have been my OB, right? You take the whole body and candle of the previous opposite direction of the big move. So this was a move down, so we're taking the previous bullish candle, right? Now what I'm doing is I will still keep the top at the top of the wicks, but my entry or my first touch will only be at the body, right? I'm only looking at the body, so I'm waiting for price to come up to that area, and then I'm interested. Because I find most of the times if there is a big wick, that not much happens around there anyway. And then obviously I'm still marking up, if I go to my 15-minute, I'm still marking up the imbalance areas. Yeah, so on this one, the only imbalance I could find, there was an imbalance over here, but it already hit and went way through that. So the next area of imbalance was up here. I actually found it on, I think, the 3-minute. So I went down until I could find it, but price did push up quite high. And one thing I have also added to my thing is this this cloud, EMA cloud, multi-time frame cloud. So as you can see, we have just broken through the red trending cloud and pushing up. So this is a very new green cloud, so we've got to just be careful here, but there could definitely be a retracement. So that's all I'm looking at is the retracement, right? So if we go back to the 15-minute, so how I do this now, guys, is I basically will wait for price to come up and hit, sorry, I'm just trying to get close enough here. Price to come up and hit this area, and then I will look at the candle or the current ATR, right? So the current ATR there was 70, call it 7. So we're looking at 7 pips or 7, and I go 2 times the ATR. So we're looking at 14 pips. Some people will take 1 times the ATR. Other people will take 1.5. I'm going 2 times just because I just want to give myself that extra room, and I'm only looking for 2 to 3R on the first. So I'm trading 2 or 3 trades on each of these alerts, right? And I'll show you why. So the first one I've already placed. I placed it over here. And normally I'll wait for it to go past. So it would have already triggered me in, I think, over there. So I'm in this one. Now normally I would have already been stopped out. If I was trading this based on how I previously was doing it, my stops were quite small. Even sometimes I was doubling my stops. I'm doubling just a distance of a block or this imbalance. But that's not, that's sometimes your area is drawn up from way down the line, So if you're using that size as your stop, it doesn't make sense because that was drawn up, could have been a month ago, could have been 2 months ago, could have been ages ago, right? So sometimes that area is based on previous a previous order block or whatever. Now what I'm doing is I'm basing it on the current ATR, right? The average true range of the current market, like what's happening right now, right? So this gives me, even though it's pushing up quite hard and it might still stop me out, and if it stops me out, then I know this order block there's no point even looking at this order block, because if you go that far past, if you're hitting 2 times the ATR outside of an order block, then that order block is, it's gone through. That is no longer a valid order block. There's no point looking at that, right? So but most of the times it comes back and it will give you at least a 1-to-1. And in this time, while it's coming into this area and giving you that 1-to-1, what I do is I then will drop down to a lower time frame. I will mark up my, just uncheck this. I will mark up my areas, for example, like if I go to the 3-minute, I am looking at, I would say this there as a 3-minute break of structure. This could even be my 5-minute break of structure. So this is kind of the next area I'm looking at to break. Once that breaks, I'm going to start taking lower time frame things, and I'm still doing 2 times the ATR, guys, even on this. A lot of people will say, but then you're not going to get as much your win rate. I mean, not your win rate, your risk to reward. But I'm only looking for like 3R on these, because let's say I hit 3R on all 3 my trades, that's 9R, right? So even if I lose 1 and hit on 2, that's 6R minus 1, that's still 5R. So worst case scenario, I'm losing all 3, which is good. I think it's very rare that I'll lose all 3, because if I'm losing this one, it means it's pushed up. So it means it wouldn't have given me a break on the lower time frame, or probably wouldn't have. I'm not saying, I could still lose all 3, but I think it's less likely for me to. I should be winning at least 1 or breaking even on at least 1, Sometimes what will happen is this will come down, I'll be in 2 trades at the same time. Between the 2 of them, which I'm risking 0.25, so I'm on 0.5 risk total. One's currently sitting, maybe both of them I'm looking for 3R. One's sitting on 1.5R, maybe this one is sitting on 1.5. The other one's sitting on 2.5. That's still 4R. I could then say, you know what, I'm just going to close that. I'm closing that out, and I'll get 2R for the day, because I've already closed out 50% at 1R. So it will give you the opportunity to see what price is doing. If price looks like it's not really playing ball, but you're kind of in this green area with one of them and the other one you're also pushing down, just close them, just close, you get your 2R, whatever, and then just move on to the next one. So that's kind of how I'm going to be playing it from now on, guys. So I'll keep you updated on this one. I do think it's going to push down soon. Once it breaks this, I'll be looking at the entry on the lower time frame. So let's say, for example, it pushes down, right? And this becomes my order block. Let's just say this one is my order block. I would take my order block, like I said, just from the body on the low side there to the top of the candle on the top, but there is no candle in that one. So then what I would do is I would again, so let's just say for example, this is what I'm looking at. It's 0.37 on the ATR. So call it 0.4. So we'll be looking at 8. We're looking at 8 on the thing. So I would take my thing there and would go up to 8. So it's still giving me a lot of room to work with, and then my 1-to-1 would be there, right? Obviously it's not broken yet, so I'm not looking, but that's just to show you guys. So I'm still looking at the ATR, 2 times the ATR, even on the lower time frames, right? And that's how I trade it. I will come back in a bit, guys, once we've got some kind of result on this, and this is live now, so this is kind of live. I'm not trading it on anything, I'm just testing it out on TradingView, because TradingView, we don't, obviously at the moment, we don't have any spread. And on live markets at the moment, the spreads are pretty high, just, because of the time of year. So anyway, guys, I will keep you updated. We will catch you guys soon. Bye for now. Okay, we're back. So that Euro JPY trade, what happened? So as you can see, first trade would have ended up hitting the stop loss, which is fine. These things happen. So that just led me to look for the next area of interest, which was, there was a 4-hour up here, and there was a very big imbalance area that I was very interested in over here. So you could have waited for a break of structure, as I said before. There's this break of structure here, right? Not a big break, but it's enough of a break that you could have traded. So if you took that 5 minutes, you would have again taken your ATR, which was 20, so your stop would have been 4. or your ATR is 2, it says 20, but it's 0.20, which is 2 pips. So you double that, would have been 4, you would have got your 1-to-1, and you would have got 2, would have come back, would have pushed back down to a little bit past 2. So I potentially would have closed at 2, which would have given me a 1R. So basically that would have just given me back my loss. So I would still be sitting at zero loss of the day. Then I would have waited for this area up here. So I would have waited for price to push past, and then I would have placed my order like that. At that point right there, it was a 0.3, so I think it would have been 6. Sorry, we're on the wrong one. This was on the 15 minute, that's why. So on the 15 minute, we would have been looking at a 5 pips, so double that would be 10. So we would have not yet been at 1 to 3, but we're close. We're coming very close to hitting the 1 to 3, and I think it will. I still think it will. It might retrace up to this point now and then push down. I've actually marked out another 5-minute OB that I'm looking at. But if this were to hit my 3R before that, I probably would close and then I wouldn't trade it. So that would have given me a loss, a win back of that loss, so still break even, and then a potential 1 to 3 here, which would be a 1.5. So I'd be happy with that. Then the other one we were looking at was the DAX. This one played out perfectly, man. So this one, if you look at this one, we waited for price to hit that 4-hour OB. There wasn't really much in the way of imbalance in that area. So I just took the OB itself as an area of interest. So I basically waited for price to tap through there, which it did, and as price pushed up there, I would have already placed my my order in. At that point, it was 14, I think. So like 13. So I think our stop would have been about 25 to 50. Yeah. So as you can see, that was just above. So basically, we had the whole order block covered. So even if it did push up higher, we would have been okay. This hasn't yet hit the 1 to 3. But then, as you can see, after we entered there, we were looking at that lower time frame break of structure, which we had over here with this massive candle there, clear break of structure over there. So that was our order block over there. Came through, we put in an order, again taking 2 times the ATR on this, which was, I think it was 8. So we did a 15, 8. 8.7. So we did 15, or 150 should I say, because it's DAX. And this one went down, didn't quite get the 1 to 3 overnight. Then we also had another strong break over there with a very strong candle. See, this candle is like just solid candle, no wicks. It's just like a proper move. So we took that whole candle as an OB. Price pushed past, would have placed our order there. This one gave us the 1 to 3 very quickly, and we are currently sitting with this one also having hit, if you can see, I'll push that there, also having hit the 1 to 3, and it's pushing up quite strong now. And this one didn't quite hit the 1 to 3. So you could have closed this one around about the same point. As soon as this one hit the 1 to 3, you could have closed both of them. So it would have been a 3, and a, what is that? 2. So you'd be looking at an 8R, which is still 4. I think we're trading 0.5%. It's still 4% increase. And considering I'm only looking for 2% a week, that would be a fantastic day. Basically getting double your week's goal in a day. And you don't have to trade all 3, and if you are trading all 3, then maybe trading 0.25. Still, in this case, it would have been 0.25, which would be 25. So we would have been looking at, what did I say, it was 8R, right? Which would have actually given us, with the 50% closing, 4R. So it still would have been 3%, if I'm not mistaken, right? Still would have given you 3%. No, it would have been maybe 2.5%, which is still fantastic considering you're getting that in one day and your weekly target is 2%. Why am I saying 2%? You will see. So the video I do, one of the weekly targets is 2%. That whole plan of going 80 to a million in 2 years, you only have to get 2% a week, right? So, and that's the cool thing is once I do that whole plan, you guys don't have to even use my strategy. If you have a strategy that you're very confident can get you 2% a week, then I can show you how to go from $80 to over $1 million in 2 years. If you can consistently get 2% a week, you can make over $1 million. I think it's like 1.5 million in 2 years, starting with $80, which is like crazy, man. If someone said to me today, I am offering you a job, it's going to be a hard job, you know, you've got to work 5 days a week, 9 to 5, some Sundays or some Saturdays you'll have to come in, but I can tell you right now that after 2 years of doing this job, you will have $1.5 million in your bank. I would take the job. So, you know, it's, you know, you're not going to get that kind of return from any, you know, no bank's going to give you that on $80, should I say. You know, some people say, oh yeah, you put in 10 million, you can, you know, I'm talking about starting with not much, starting with $80. So keep an eye out for that one, guys. I'm still working on it. I am going to be releasing it soon. Just keep checking back. And yeah, if you are not subscribed, I know I'm still very, very young on YouTube, but you know, if you like what you see, you like the content is going to get better. I'm kind of, you know, I will be working on my setup and stuff like that. Maybe down the line I'll do like a setup video, but I've still got a long way to go in terms of you know, my setup. I basically I'm just doing it in my office. You know, I have no green screen, I have nothing like that. But you know, we'll get there. It's still early days. Yeah, if you like what you see, guys, please subscribe, and we will catch you guys in the next video. See you soon. Bye.